8:50 on a Wednesday morning on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM and the KCMO Talk Radio app. Stream us as we roll for the next hour. Plus, of course, Ray Stevens takes over at 10 o'clock. It is that time of the week.
KCMO Talk Radio, now on FM at 95.7. It's time for What If Wednesday.
What if, instead of having you on this radio station, there was somebody else?
All righty, been there, done that, didn't work out too well. Here we go on a Wednesday. John Anthony, where is our boy Donnie in Blue Springs, by the way? He's been MIA for probably 18 months.
Hard to say.
Yeah, who knows? What do you got for me on What If Wednesday?
All right, how about this one? What if the WNBA was actually a profitable operation?
Well, then Caitlin Clark would be making more than $75,000 a year in year one of her contract. This faux outrage about Caitlin Clark, the Iowa women's college basketball star who was just selected number one in the WNBA draft, it's faux outrage. You know, she got a 4-year deal, $355,000, right? Oh, the horror. Oh, the pay gap. Joe Biden's tweeting about it like the, economic dumbass he is. And it's just like, guys, this is how the WNBA doesn't make any money. The NBA profits $3 billion a year. They generate $10 billion a year in revenue. The WNBA loses tens of millions of dollars a year. Now, there's good news. The WNBA draft night ratings were 5 times as big as they usually are. 2.5 million people watched the WNBA draft the other night. The numbers the last few years have been anywhere from 400,000 to 500,000. If that is a sign of things to come, if people start going to watch WNBA games, in large part because of Caitlin Clark, and it becomes a profitable business operation, then the salaries will skyrocket, much like Tiger Woods did for purses on the PGA Tour. The average person got much more into golf when Tiger Woods came around. If Caitlin Clark does that for the WNBA, they will become a profitable business, and the salaries will skyrocket. I would love that to happen. I have 3 daughters. If they want to go to games, we don't have one in town, but if they want to watch WNBA games, I will gladly watch it with them. I will cheer on women's sports, but in the end, in a capitalistic system, if you don't have a profitable business venture, you're not going to make the kind of money that you would if you're in a league that generates $10 billion in revenue and $3 billion in profits. There's your Econ 101 lesson here, John, on a What If Wednesday.
Right on. All right, how about this one? What if the idiots in New York City make Trump a sympathetic figure during this trial?
You know that he's going to roll. He's going to roll in November, man. I mean, this is, as I'm watching day 2 of these jury proceedings take place yesterday in Donald Trump's criminal trial for the Stormy Daniels hush money case. And let's be clear on what this is. It was a misdemeanor that got turned into a criminal trial because the statute of limitations for the misdemeanor had passed. So the only way to bring this case forward on the hush money Stormy Daniel payments was to turn it into a criminal trial and a criminal case. And that's what the Manhattan DA is doing. So meantime, Trump, I mean, just classic Trump, he gets out of the jury hearings yesterday and he goes up to Harlem, New York. Now, if you haven't spent a lot of time in Harlem, it's basically what you expect and you think Harlem of being. So Donald Trump is standing outside a bodega, or as Jill Biden would call it. What would she call it, John? A bodega. A bodega, as Jill Biden would call him. And the guy is getting, high-fived and cheered left and right on a street corner in Harlem, New York, after he gets out of trial yesterday.
Everything good?
And, these are not a bunch of, white rubes in Holt County, Missouri here, okay? It's not in downtown Ottawa. It's in Harlem, New York. Mostly black and Latino residents there surrounding Trump on a street corner by a bodega. I almost said it the Joe Biden way because that word is in my head. A bodega. It gets stuck. It's like, gosh, it plays a mind trick on you. And they're chanted 4 more years. Now, I'm not predicting Trump's winning Harlem. I'm not predicting he's winning New York. The machine there in that state will come out and make sure that, the state does what it's supposed to do. But it just signals to me that something is happening, and this whole process is backfiring in an enormous way on not just the New York DA, but I think in large part the Democratic Party at large. Because the perception here is that the only way you can beat this guy is if you take him down through the legal system and you soak him dry financially. He can't be out there campaigning. This is the only way you can get him. And you can keep your guy in power. And that's the perception. And how's that playing in Georgia, in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, in Wisconsin, in Arizona, in Nevada? That's what matters. And if it's playing that way in Harlem, New York on a street corner, something tells me something bigger may be going on there, John. What's next?
All right. What if Mayor Lucas's immigrant work plan runs contrary to Missouri state laws?
Woof. Well, you are going to be hearing from the legislature today, my guess. If you didn't see the story, and we've been talking about it this morning, Mayor Lucas confirming that New York City migrants and Denver migrants, and I'm reading the headline here, I'm not referring to them as such, but they are being welcomed by Kansas City's mayor to fill jobs. Basically, we are going to be welcoming illegal immigrants from Denver and New York, at least those 2 cities, to Kansas City. And there's been a lot of bad ideas out of City Hall here over the last few years. And this is right up there with the worst of them. And make it about, we got jobs to fill. And this is the way to do it? This is your plan. There are not poor people in Kansas City who would love to get a hand up and not a hand out, who right now are maybe looking for work or looking to have their skill sets refined, but they're trying to find the right program. They're trying to find the right place to help them, and they can't get a hand out right now or a hand up right now. Instead, we got to, fly in illegal immigrants from New York and Denver to make this work? If this runs contrary to state law, you're going to see action in Jeff City potentially as soon as today or tomorrow. Because that a lot of those folks, too, they want to slap the mayor down on this. And they're going to want to do it fast because it also is a political year. It's an election year, and they're going to want to do that for as much of that as they are because it also may ultimately end up violating state law. So we'll have to find out and wait and see how that plays out. What If Wednesday wrapped up here on KCMO Talk Radio.